Is Triple H still fighting the Wednesday Night War? We're going to find out. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined as always by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby.
You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about all the news and wrestling. This week he shows up.
Hey, Johnny Drip Drip.
Hello.
Hey, Larry.
He still got his front teeth. Oh my God!
You
What's
think
up, Johnny?
So? Nothing much, man.
Johnny Drip Drip. Yeah.
Quick.
Oh boy.
Real quick, thanks for your guys. Look, listening. Lick was here. He said, "Hail the Wrestling Council." What's up, man? Hail leg kick. Hicks Villain said, "Sup? What's up, Hicks Villain? Appreciate you being here, man." And where the hell is it? Let me find it.
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's
up?
Hicks Villain said, "Petition to change the GBU to the good, the bad, and the UC." We're going to do that this week. Malacita said, "Sup, fellas? I'm here, Ty, but don't worry. Got music playing in the background on positive. KG is going to keep me awake." Yeah, don't do that. You won't make it home, man.
Yeah, Kenny G. Might as well listen to some
God.
Michael Bolton if you're gonna do that.
Oh my God. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody that's gonna be slowly filtering in here. Yeah, interesting week. Looks like we are finally seeing some light at the end of the tunnel with the situation regarding CM Punk and the Elite. Although the new thing is supposedly Larry got his teeth kicked in, which then immediately everybody said was bullshit. So this is just
Who said it was bullshit?
everybody, dude. Literally.
Who's that? Who's everybody?
The one guy who was on Alvarez's show. He's actually one of the people that's involved in the investigation. He said that's flat out bullshit.
This investigation is such bullshit. How come they're not talking to his Steel's wife?
Dude, they're not talking to. See, this is what I think Tony Khan is doing wrong.
They didn't ask her a question. She's a primary eyewitness of the case, and they're not going to talk to her because she was not involved. No, I'm talking about investigation. They're not going to ask her questions because she was not involved, even though she's a primary eyewitness of the case.
Oh,
this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
The whole investigation thing.
This is bullshit.
Dude, you're just
it's not an investigation. This is a construction of a PR move.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's what we knew it was from the start. It was them trying to figure out who's most to blame, so that then they can get out ahead of this thing. It was all a PR thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm over that shit. I'm so tired of this freaking story. I just want to be done and over with. But yeah, the big news coming out this week is Triple H potentially talking to other companies. Actually, some verification that he's talking to other companies, trying to kind of take away that thing that the AEW has, which is working with people like New Japan and Impact and NWA, especially in GCW. There was a lot of news coming out of that. I was really surprised about. But yeah, it's looking like he's holding a grudge on this thing, man. I swear I'm talking to myself sometimes.
I don't think it's that deep. Like, no. I don't think it's gonna go nowhere.
We'll talk about it. There's a couple things that came out that were interesting.
It was a big back and forth thing with Nakamura trying to get
Triple
H to let him go.
To Noah, yeah.
Yeah.
Larry probably been into those stale vegan gluten-free muffins Punk was chewing on. Well, it wasn't just that. Like, we'll get into it, but there was some talk between Stephanie and GCW. There's Billy Corgan putting the feelers out that he wouldn't mind NWA becoming like a developmental for either WWE or AEW. So
Yikes.
there's a lot of movement, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. The whole thing with Carl Anderson. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Before that, we got a little segment we like to do. It's our favorite thing to call it the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is my turn this week. So
it's Larry's turn this week.
Larry's turn.
It was my turn last week, actually. It was the week I was here was the week before that. So yeah, it's not me, no.
Larry's been taking care of his teeth. That's why he's been out the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Let's say it was that.
Hang on one second.
No, now.
All right, so for my good, bad, and the ugly this week, for my good, Sami Zayn's promo on freaking SmackDown this week was absolute gold, man. Absolute gold. Oh, good, bad, and Uzi. Okay, yeah, the good, the bad, and the Uzi. All right.
Yeah.
So the good, like I said, Sami Zayn's promo on SmackDown was one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen. Nobody could keep a straight face. I mean, Roman and Jay both just started busting up. They couldn't take it. Sami continues to be the best thing on SmackDown. 100%. Love the dude. And this was only, and the funny thing is this was only supposed to be like a 3 or 4 week storyline. It wasn't supposed to keep going, but it's just so good. It's so freaking funny. It's
RK Bro. It's RK Bro all over again.
It is. It's RK Bro all over again, man. And this is what happens when you have a guy that's as creative as Sami Zayn. And you just let him go, man. You just let him be who he is. Yeah, it was. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. This is the kind of wrestling comedy I can get behind. So, Malacito said the good, Penta versus Mox, the bad, Carmella situation, the ugly, Larry, I mean, wolf a face, only a has-been could love. Wow. I can tell what side Malacito's on this one.
Yeah, Jesus.
So the bad for me was we had a little bit of an implosion in the IWC over the weekend between a particular YouTuber broadcaster, wrestling YouTube broadcaster, and pretty much the entirety of the women's AEW locker room, which was like, what the freaking hell?
Hey, what happened?
Basically, something that was it JD from New York said something pretty innocuous. Actually, they were talking about the match between Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir, which let's be honest, nobody wants that match. Nobody cares about that match. There's no way she's winning. Marina Shafir's not been great in the ring. It's a nothing match. It's a filler match. And we all know that the reason why that's happening, and it's because Chris Statlander got hurt. She was the one that was being set up to dethrone Jade, and we had a bunch of fallout from that. So he basically just tweeted out something pretty innocuous. He's something along the lines of like, "Oh God, please no," or something like that. And apparently, it was either a slow day or Jade just decided that she was done with the world and their shit, and she just went in on the guy. And everything just kind of snowballed from there. It's typical Twitter beef bullshit.
The locker room is so sensitive. God damn.
What'd you say?
The locker room is so sensitive.
I swear. And here's the thing, and that's something I want to bring up after we're done here. But that was the bad, and then the ugly, of course, the situation with Carmella. Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage, and then she had I can't remember what it's called, something like a false pregnancy. So dealing with some really, really rough stuff there. Lots of thoughts and prayers go out to her, and hopefully they can get through it, because that's rough as hell. But that's my good, my bad, my ugly. What do you got, Frank?
My good. Hey, Uncle Howdy. Woohoo.
Who is Uncle Howdy?
Who is Uncle Howdy?
I said that I think it was Wyndham Rotunda. Not Wyndham Rotunda, but Barry Windham.
Yeah, Wyndham Rotunda is Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I know that. It's the same dude. But I think, like I said, he looks an awful lot like
the
Barry
Widowmaker. Widowmaker, Barry Windham.
Yes, sir.
The former Four Horsemen, Barry Windham. Cody's group.
Shut the hell up. I knew you were going to say that, you dick. But
yeah. So I'm like, we'll see where it goes. I mean, where it goes, who knows? Because they said that Bray is the number one face on SmackDown.
Yeah, which I still don't get.
If he's the number one face, eventually he's going to be challenging Roman Reigns.
They're already talking about it.
Well, you got Logan Paul this weekend, Saudi, which is, speaking of Saudi, that is my bad, because I was just reading it, is that there's a possibility of a war between Saudi Arabia and Iran starting imminently.
Yes,
so,
that's pretty scary. And that's a situation where it's like, man, I don't know if I'd be sending my people over there.
You got all these guys going over there right now, guys and gals going over there, and there could be war on the back door. That's scary.
I'm going to put it this way. They better have planes on the tarmac ready to go. And if something pops off, you get them out of there ASAP. You don't screw around. You shut that shit down and get them off and then get them home. It was bad enough. What was it? Was it last year or the year before where they got stuck there?
That was the first year.
That was the first year. That was bad enough. This is worse. This is infinitely worse. So, and I'll tell you right now, if the card changes because some people are just scared about going over anything like that, I don't want to hear anybody bitching. I don't want to hear everybody be like, "Oh, it freaking sucks, man." Shut the hell up. You go fly over to a war.
It's one thing to supposedly hold the talent hostage for some kind of pay dispute. It's another thing to be over there when there's war and missiles, rockets, whatever, potentially in your back door.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a good situation. It's definitely not a good situation. By the way, guys, let's get everybody that's there, guys, tweet it out. Let everybody know that we're running here. Let's get as many lines in this thing as possible. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. That's my bad, because it's just it could go from bad to worse.
Yeah. What's your Usi?
Real quick, my Usi. Ooh. What is my Usi? I don't know what the payoff is with this whole Swerve Strickland.
Well, the payoff is going to be him versus Keith Lee, because they can't keep doing. See now.
Let me go with my real ugly. My real ugly is I hope that Tony Khan comes to his senses and does not turn MJF into a face.
That's gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Jericho's in his ear trying to make it happen, man.
He is.
That's the stupidest thing he could possibly do. I'm gonna say that right now. Like, love Chris Jericho, and he's a guy that we know that guy. He can flip flop back and forth. He's one of the few people can do that and do it convincingly.
Looks like I'm gonna have to go rescue some sheep. I see you guys later.
All right.
Okay.
Take it easy, buddy.
Back to the deuces.
Yeah, back to the freaking thing that won in the first place, you little son of a bitch. Anyway, that would be awful. That would be absolutely 110% terrible. Now, is Max a creative enough guy that he could do something with it? Yeah, but it would not be anywhere near as good as him being. He is the heel you love to hate.
Yep.
He's the heel you love to hate. And I was like, well, what about if he was a tweener? I was like, no, I don't even think that would work either. Because Max is one of the few people that still believes in kayfabe. And he is the quintessential villain. He's and the reason why people are cheering him is not because they want him to turn face. It's because they love it when he's bad. Okay. That's why he is so popular. That's what we've talked about this. There are people that are natural heels and natural faces. He is 1,000% a natural heel.
Yeah, he'll be at a comic book store. He'll be at a signing and flip an 8-year-old kid off. He don't care.
Yeah, or just like take a picture and just rip it up and throw it away. Turning him face would be the stupidest thing they could possibly do. And it would diminish him going forward as a heel for quite a while afterwards. You can't do this flip-flop thing with a lot of people. It just doesn't work. And I know that there's a modern perception that there's no such thing as faces and heels anymore. That's bullshit. That's complete and utter bullshit.
Yep.
So that was your
look how well it worked for Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, it sucked. It was terrible. So and that was your ugly, right?
Yeah, it was my ugly.
Okay. Anyway, guys, that's our good and bad ugly, guys. Let's see here. Another more comments. All right, so let's get into the heart of this story. I don't think it's going to go on for very long. We'll be able to talk about more wrestling stuff this week, but there was an interesting story that was kind of circulating around. Actually, real quick, Hicksville said, I think they'll play this going face thing long enough for him to double down as a heel. I think the dissension in the BCC ranks will play a part. Yeah, I think what's going to happen is he's going to act like he's trying to make it look like he's, it's going to be him playing the people, basically. It's kind of like when he did that promo with Punk where he was like, this is who I was, and at the end of it, he punks me out. He no pun intended, punks me and goes, you stupid old man, I'm a snake. That's what Max is doing. This is just a little bit more elaborate. So I think what's going to happen, he's going to use it against. He's trying to sow dissension within the ranks of the BCC, and he's going to attack him. He's going to break him down. I hope they're not breaking up the BCC already. I really hope they don't do that because I think they need to be around for a little bit longer before you start doing crap like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I said that, like I said, and all the people all the tweets and stuff that I put out and all the shows that I was watching, I said, when he shows that this was all the work, that he was just playing everybody, and it's going to be the coolest damn thing. It's going to be an awesome storyline. So, but I think that's what's going on with him. Okay, so story at hand. So back when AEW first started and they put NXT up against them, obviously the unfortunate reality was, even though at the time, this was back when we were doing the original Wrestling Council, we said that they were oftentimes they were the two best wrestling shows on television, period. You okay, man?
Oh, I got a little cold. Yeah, that's Germans.
But anyway, oftentimes NXT and AEW Dynamite were the two best wrestling shows on television, hands down, bar none. And there were times when, like we said, AEW was the better wrestling show, but NXT would have the better wrestling. This is back when they had the Undisputed Era on there. This was back when AEW was first firing on all cylinders. And it was fun to watch, man. NXT was fun to watch. The NXT women's division was the best women's division in friggin' wrestling. And it was good stuff, man. It was really, really good stuff. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner and one loser. And AEW is the one who came out on top. And Vince made Triple H pay for that. There was a period of time there before Triple H got sick, and then before Vince left, where they marginalized the hell out of him. And Vince went in there and they gutted NXT. That's when we got this BS crap with NXT 2.0.
No, good Lord.
And that put some salt in that put some sand in Triple H's craw, man. He did not like the fact that he was blamed for NXT failing. He did not like the fact that they lost. Even though, like we said, at the time, they were the two best wrestling shows on television. So fast forward to now, Triple H is in full command. He's in full charge of WWE, and we're starting to get these little rumblings here and there of him putting out some feelers, maybe looking to work with some of these other companies outside of WWE. And a lot of people think that this is him kind of taking a shot at AEW, because one of AEW's strongest points has been its ability to work with other programs. And some people are taking this as him trying to maybe take away some of that ability. Striking while the iron's hot. Well, AEW is kind of in turmoil right now because of the stuff that happened with and behind the scenes, and with them trying to pick everything up. And now I just lost my train of thought. But there's some reports coming up. Like we got Shinsuke Nakamura appearing on New Year's Eve at the Nippon Budokai in Noah. Great Muta. This is his retirement tour. This is a big deal. Nakamura himself said it was amazing. Real quick, Williams, Wheel Railsport. Hey guys from UK, what's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by, brother. And so we got that. Although we do know that Nakamura kind of pushed for this, and he finally got Triple H to agree to it, and they worked everything out. And some people are saying that this is the start of the potential of maybe a Forbidden Door opening for WWE.
I doubt that.
I do as well, but then you have the situation with Carl Anderson. So for people who don't know, Carl Anderson, well, one of the Good Brothers, who's part of the WWE right now. God damn it, man!
Hey,
come on, killing me.
Keep going, Carl Anderson.
He is the current. He's the current
never open weight
title holder in New Japan, and he was scheduled to appear at the in Osaka, the Battle Autumn in Osaka
this Saturday.
And there was a scheduling conflict. They said they couldn't. And at first, it appeared that there was a big brouhaha beginning between WWE and New Japan. Well, as time has gone on, it now looks as though they are beginning to turn this into a storyline. And there's actually reports coming out. He's still. Well, what they're saying is, they're now saying that there may be a kind of a deal going on between WWE and New Japan, kind of similar to what John Moxley has with his contract with AEW, where he can work New Japan dates as long as they don't conflict with AEW. Well, apparently now it's something that Carl Anderson has with WWE. So the fact that they were even willing to work something like that out, that's something that under Vince, that would never happen.
True.
Never in a million years.
True.
But the thing that really has me interested is the announcement that GCW made. GCW announced that their entire archive is moving over to Fight Plus streaming service. So all of GCW's library will now be available on Fight TV to watch. And apparently Stephanie McMahon had been in talks with GCW to bring that library to Peacock instead. So, whoa, we lost him. Anyway, all right. So anyway, like I said, so like I'm gonna go ahead and read this thing here real quick. Brett Lauderdale. So basically, Brett Lauderdale came out and he announced that GCW's library would be moving to Fight TV, to the Fight TV Plus, and it came out during that as well that Stephanie McMahon had been in talks with him to bring that to Peacock instead. So there was so you've got movement there, and then he actually referenced this and said that he said she's probably going to be a little upset about the fact that he made the deal with Fight TV, but he thinks that things will still be okay. And then on top of that, you have Billy Corrigan, who made it. He was in the I believe he was talking to somebody in the UK, and he was talking about how he was open to NWA becoming a developmental brand for WWE or AEW. And he actually spoke, and he said that he had briefly had discussions with Triple H regarding NWA airing on the WWE network. So right now we've got all these things in different directions, stuff that WWE under Vince would never even consider. No way in hell would he have done that.
He wouldn't have.
Yeah, there's no way. Let me see real quick. Also changed Hikuleo. Someone forgot his name. Help me out, guys. Yeah, it's I can't remember who it was, but GCW was on Wrestling Observer today talking about it. I caught the tail end of that, but I was talking, but I saw he had actually made an announcement about it, and then somebody had asked him about it, and he said that he talked about that he had been in talks with Stephanie McMahon. Not sure how well GCW content would mesh with the Peacock. No, I mean that was part of the reason why he made the decision that he did. To go with Fight TV because he didn't want their matches and whatnot being censored. But so the thing with Billy Corrigan, like I said, is that he'd been talking to him about talking to Triple H about them becoming developmental. He said, I didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere, and that was fine. Good decisions, very open and cool. They certainly like what I was trying to do, and they've always been cool about what I was doing in the way. So I remain optimistic going into the future that there might be some business to do there. So all of these things kind of happening all at once has got people in the IWC talking about the fact that Triple H, and plus the fact that a lot of the programming that WWE has done since Triple H has been in charge has been, it's basically been in competition with AEW. Like they're moving things around, they're having certain shows happen at certain times, et cetera, et cetera. So the question is, do you think Triple H is still sore about what happened with AEW and NXT, and that he's actually looking to possibly make moves to undermine that one strength of theirs that they have that nobody else, that WWE doesn't have, which is working with other companies?
No. Trips is just bringing people back that Vince didn't want to use anymore and try to build the company back up to be
what it used to be,
bigger than it. Yeah. I mean, they just released 4 or 5 guys in NXT today.
5 people in NXT. Yeah.
So it's not like, he's just bringing in people and not getting rid of talent because.
Well, I see. I kind of disagree with that because he's been bringing in people left and right. He's been bringing back people left and right. But and the 5 people that they released from NXT, only one of them was a person that had ever been on television.
Right.
All the rest of them were developmental, and that would been the new thing with their developmental division anyway, which is you got 3 months, and if you don't show us something, if you don't improve, every 3 months they're going to reevaluate everybody, and if you don't show us something, you're gone.
Yeah, but he's bringing back good people. Bray Wyatt need to come back.
He is, but he's also bringing back people like Emelina. He's bringing back, he brought back a whole bunch of people. And it's getting to the point now where some people are starting to say that they may end up with the same problem that AEW's got, where they've got all this talent and they don't really have enough time, airtime to do everything with them.
It's possible, but is he bringing all this back to build WWE back up to go see ya and sell it off to somebody?
I think that's always going to be in the background. I think that's always the possibility of selling off WWE to.
Because if you're going this way, you wanted to go back this way to sell it.
Yeah, but I don't think Triple H is interested. Now the board is a completely different story. True. Triple H, I don't think has any interest in selling WWE. This is his time. I think he wants to turn it into what he believes it should be. And so far, he's done a pretty good job. But a lot of people are starting to point to the fact that all these people returning has been the big upswing for WWE, other than a couple of stories where they've done some long-term booking. They're letting their talent kind of stretch out a little bit more, do the things that we've said that they should do. But there's also the people that are worried that that they're going to fall into the same situation that AEW's got, which is they have this massive roster that they don't know what they do with. William Rose with a quick question. Do you guys see these wrestlers in WWE? Taya Valkyrie, Bronson Reed, Tyler Breeze, Chelsea Green, Mia Yim, Tegan Knox. Some of those people have already been reached out to. I know Bronson Reed, Tyler Breeze, Chelsea Green have all been reached out to. I don't know about Mia Yim. I do know that Mia Yim's contract and Impact is up. So right now would be a great time to bring her back. And I think she could do a lot of good with the women's roster. And Tegan Knox, I'm not sure about, but I do know that some of those people have already been reached out to.
Yeah, they reached out to Tegan Knox. Or from what I've heard, they're interested in bringing her back, whether they reached out to her or not. Chelsea Green, I think, is in any day now.
Yeah, Chelsea Green. I think Tyler Breeze is another one that they would be interested in bringing back because he's another Triple H guy.
The problem is, like we talked about it, is AEW has all this talent, and they're not doing.
They've only got 3 hours of.
WWE has more TV time, but you're not doing anything with them. It's just going to be main event jobber type talent.
Hicksville said Triple H is doing what's best for business. He isn't worried what Tony would do. He wants to do what Vince wouldn't. I agree with that on the most part, but at the same time, that's gotta be one of those things that kind of pisses him off. And he might be looking to prove to Bill's like, look, if you just let me do what I keep doing what I wanted to do, and eventually I would have beat these guys. But I don't think, I agree with you guys. I don't think that this is the case. It was just an interesting story that I saw people talking about, that they think that the Wednesday Night Wars aren't over. That he's still pissed off about that, and he wants to prove that he was right, that he would have eventually beaten these guys. But at this point, I think with the position that he's in right now, I think all this stuff happening at the same time right now is just coincidence. I think it's just some move that people made.
You're never going to take out AEW with having them on two different nights.
No. Sad fact for you, Triple H has brought back 16 wrestlers. Vince released so far, and more to come. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are starting to say that, hey, just because you like these people and they got released might not be a good time to bring them all back right now, because you're gonna end up with a bloated roster. But
you've got to bring in talent to for these other people to fight. You can't be wash, rinse, repeat with New Day fighting this team every week, or Roman Reigns fighting Drew McIntyre, or this guy every other month. You gotta get somebody in there.
Well, you absolutely have to bring in new blood. You got, and not only that, but after you, and like we said, the big issue with Roman Reigns is that he ran through everybody, and they weren't working on building anybody else up in the background to come in and take over. So he got lucky. He brought back Karrion Kross, which I think that'll eventually happen. Roman versus Karrion Kross. He brought back Bray Wyatt. That'll eventually happen. You've got a couple of people now that you could put in there with him. Problem is that now he's a part-timer.
Yeah, you talked about it. You got to split those titles.
If it were me, I would take the belts off him because at this point, he doesn't need them. He really doesn't. I mean, he's got like he literally said that he was going to run through. Remember the whole thing when it first started 2 years ago? He said he's going to run through everybody and then he's going to retire the belt. He's going to retire. He said he was going to be done. He was going to leave. I'm going to run through everybody. I'm going to leave. So he's done that. He doesn't need the belts. He's at the point now. It's kind of like Rock Austin. You don't need to have the belts for them to have a big pay-per-view match. You know what I'm saying? So, but to get back to the thing, I think all this stuff happening, the Nakamura thing, the Carl Anderson thing, the GCW thing, Billy Corgan's statement, I think it's all just coincidence. I think it's all just, these little things that have been happening in the background. I don't think WWE is trying to undermine AEW in that way. I think they're more along the lines of let's, steal as much talent from them as we can. The people that they took from us, let's maybe get some of that back. I think that's the kind of thing because we know that they've been they've basically been completely ignoring, the way that it's supposed to be conducting communication with those guys. And they put it in their ear like, hey, when your contract's done, come back over here. Or if you can get out of your contract, come back over here. We know that they've been doing that a little bit. But beyond that, I really don't think Triple H cares.
Yeah, I really don't think it's going to matter much unless you see guys like FTR, Jungle Boy, Max leaving. If they leave AEW, then you're going to have an issue.
Yeah. I think the report that Max Stealth signed a new agreement for like another 5 years. I think that's more real. I think that's the reality. Yeah. I think Tony Khan would have said, "Listen, I'm going to lock you up for as long as possible."
But I think you play that angle as much as you can in next year and into 2024.
Yeah, 100%. But William Respo said, thoughts on Asuka, Alexa, new champs? I hate it. I love Asuka. Alexa much less. I don't think she's anywhere near as good in the ring. And I do agree that Damage Control had an awful run as champs. I think, again, this is what happens when you take single stars and you make them tag teams. And you don't have there's no direction for the women's tag team division. They have no plans for it. It's just there. I love all the people involved. Io, like I said, Io Shirai, I think is one of the 5 best women wrestlers in the world. Asuka is awesome. It's a nothing storyline is the unfortunate truth of it. Shayna Ronda, like I would love to see Ronda put together, like, remember that she had that, her little horsewomen.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them do that. I'd love to see them put that together. And because I think that would work, and I think they would work well off of each other. But okay, them two could beat anybody in real life. Yeah, probably, pretty much. All right, let's talk about some wrestling. Let's talk about I want to talk about SmackDown for a minute.
Uzi.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so first off, the match between Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and the Brawling Brutes. It's a pretty good match. This was more along the lines of building up a storyline. Unfortunately, they'd written Sheamus off television so he could go have his wedding. Congratulations to him. Which, by the way, Sheamus's run the last couple of months, one of the best runs of his entire career. What made this awesome? Okay, so the match was okay. The match was decent. What made it awesome was the freaking promo that they all did afterward. And that's where we got the new word Uzi from.
Yep.
Sami Zayn took what would have been a decent promo, and he made it one of the funniest damn things I have ever seen in professional wrestling. It was so funny. He made Roman and Jay both break character. Everybody was laughing their freaking asses off. And this is why I love Sami Zayn. This dude, you give this guy chicken shit. You give this guy chicken shit, he will make chicken salad out of it.
Yeah,
Sami Zayn is one of the most creative wrestlers people have ever seen. And I agree. I think they were both above average shows. Yep, banger after banger, man.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be over because he was supposed to be working thing with Kevin Owens right now.
Kevin Owens, yeah. And that's why Kevin Owens hasn't been on screen, is because they were waiting for this thing to be over. But it was only supposed to last for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
But it's literally the best thing on SmackDown. And so they just kept pushing it. And eventually that's going to happen, the whole thing with Sami and Kevin Owens. But I had to talk about this because like this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't script every little line that everybody says and you let your guys go out there and be creative and just do what they do best. And this was one of the best segments I've ever seen. And it was, without a doubt, it was the best thing on the show. It was 110% the best thing on the show. Bray Wyatt, his in-ring promo. And then I want to see this guy in the ring. I want to see him wrestling. He's got to have a match at some point.
And when Jey Uso, I can't remember what he said exactly about. I don't care what the head of the
I don't care
table
what the
wants.
Tribal Chief says.
I don't care what Tribal Chief says. And I thought Roman was going to turn on him and just I thought he was just going to pop him.
Yeah, dude. Jay, yeah, dude. They were all trying. They were all looking at the floor because they knew if they looked at each other, they were just going to die. And with Fami is doing his best work of his career. Facts. Hope new tag team and beats Usos new tag team champs. That's what I do. Sami beat up Usos. I think what's going to happen is eventually Sami. They're all going to turn on Sami, and it's going to be Sami versus Roman, and it's going to be awesome because Sami is one of the best wrestlers out there, man. The dude can go like. Go look at his El Generico stuff. Let me put that. Look at his run in NXT. Sami's awesome. I love that guy. But and then the other best thing, Bray, obviously.
Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, we got introduced to Uncle Howdy. I will say this though, I don't think they can milk this thing for forever. They need to have Bray in some matches. They need to put some storylines together. He needs to start doing stuff. But that's it. I just want to talk about SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have the Wyatt Six, then let's get them introduced. At least somebody.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
If you're not, then let's move on and, like you said, have them in a match.
Yeah. The heck is it? Where's my shit? There it is.
In the toilet.
I got it. AEW Dynamite. Was it Jericho Appreciation Society versus Blackpool Combat Club? This Claudio. All right, I had an issue with this match. Love Claudio's part in this. That dude was going like crazy. Then they have Wheeler Yuta come in to basically get the, he gets the hot tag.
Right.
But I don't know. This match felt very one-sided, where it was all Castagnoli, and maybe that was the whole point. Maybe they were trying to showcase how good he was. Maybe that was the whole point. I felt like they could have done a better job with this. I felt like they could have made it a little more even. But the big thing was the whole teasing that the possibility that there's dissension within Blackpool Combat Club. I don't like that. I think that they should. I don't think that should be. That they shouldn't be breaking them up right now.
It's a pretty strong guy to be doing a famous carry to one guy and a swing with another one.
Oh, it's friggin' ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, I don't like the match itself was fine. I don't like the teasing of them breaking. I mean, as long as they don't pull the trigger on it, as long as it's a storyline thing and it's involved with Moxley and Max, I'm okay with it. They don't need to be breaking these guys up already. They're the most popular thing in AEW. Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara was a really, really good match. FTR. Okay, so FTR and Swerve versus Swerve in Our Glory. A lot of people are pissed off that FTR didn't win. I get it I get it. Like, I think you got a team as hot as FTR. They are 100% the best tag team in wrestling today. You would think put the belts on them. Okay. I think what they're doing is that I think the plan is that we're going to get FTR is going to have the world belt championship belts here again, very soon. Okay, I say within the next 6 months. I think the reason why that they got the win like this is if you look at the way that Swerve in Our Glory got the win. Keith Lee didn't realize that that Swerve cheated to win.
Yeah.
The way they set it up. So this whole thing is being used to set up Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee. When Keith Lee finally calls him out and says, "Hey, what the hell is this BS?" And then with all that that stuff that Swerve was doing with Billy Gunn and all that stuff like that, this is gonna. I honestly think that this coming Wednesday we might get him calling him out on that, and it's going to eventually lead to Swerve versus Keith Lee. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we get that at Full Gear.
You don't see a Keith Lee heel turn with Swerve?
I wouldn't do that. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes the twist isn't the best thing to do.
Right. And I agree with you having Swerve and Keith Lee win because the Acclaim's the hottest team right now. And if you put FTR versus Acclaim, you don't want it. You want to see that eventually, but you don't want to see it now.
No. You want to see? I want to see that maybe at the next pay-per-view.
It's too soon for those two teams to get together.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like what is it? Revolution, which is in March. Yeah, I would do FTR versus the Acclaimed at Revolution. But yeah, like right now, yeah, you don't want your two most popular tag teams going up against each other, especially when they're both faces. You know,
you don't want the excitement for both of those and have either one of them lose because it doesn't do any good for either one of them.
Yeah, so I understand. Like FTR was off television for a long time. That's stupid. They shouldn't be. They should be in tag team. You should show them being a tag team and fighting other tag teams. That's what you should be doing. What I'd love to see is to see FTR them bring in some other teams from maybe some other companies, like maybe Von Erichs or something, and have them fight FTR. Just let FTR do what they do and have these crazy banger matches with all these dream teams. In between, waiting for that time to put the belts back on. So I understand people being frustrated that it seems like FTR was kind of taking a back seat, but I also think that it was the best way to go to push the storyline.
Yep. And
I think FTR is going to be fine, guys. FTR is going to be fine. That was the big drama. That was the big issue that people had with that whole thing. Moxley versus Penta was awesome. I still think Penta is one of the most underutilized, and so all right. So a big issue that people have with the way Penta is treated is a lot of times other wrestlers kick out of his offense, and he's got moves. He's got some moves that are just brutal as hell. And this is an issue, but then this is an issue with modern wrestling. When you have finishing moves that aren't protected. And Penta's got like 3 of them. And Moxley kicked out of and then this, like I said, this was an awesome match. Awesome match. I love Penta. I really wish that Penta would be inserted into the TNT title scene and would get some love there. Ray Phoenix is an amazing singles wrestler as well. Like, I love them as a tag team. I don't want them to split them up. When they had that whole thing with Eddie where it seemed like they were going to split them up, I was pissed. And I want to see these guys in the ring more together. But like I said, Penta has had awesome singles runs in the past. And I really think that if you insert him into the TNT title scene, that would really help the TNT title scene.
Yep. Because
the dude's amazing. And start putting some respect on the guy. Seriously. I mean, obviously he's popular. People like him. He's got an awesome look. But the dude can freaking go in the ring, man. I mean, that series, like, I'm still pissed that series that he had with Cody, that he didn't come out on top of that. He should have. 100% he should have come out on top of that. But that was the big drama from Dynamite. Was some people were upset that Moxley was kicking out of Penta's offense, and the situation with Swerve in Our Glory and FTR. Other than that, I thought it was a good show. It wasn't the best show they've ever done.
You forgot the match of the night.
What was the match of the night?
Jamie Hayter versus Riho.
It was not a bad match.
Riho.
It was not a bad match. Listen, dude, people talk all the shit they want about Riho.
Hey, she can go.
The problem is she's just so tiny.
Oh yeah.
You know? But and this was actually a good match. And like I said, man, they need to, because Statlander is injured. If you're not going to have Jamie Hayter win the title, she should definitely be the person that takes the belt off Jade. Jamie Hayter is the most over person in the entire AEW women's locker room right now. You know, with the exception of, and I would say with the exception of maybe Jade, but I think she's even more over than Jade is right now. Jamie Hayter, dude, listen to the crowd when she comes out. And for God's sake, pull the damn trigger on her going out, taking out friggin' Britt. You got to pull that trigger on her. It has to happen. That has to happen at Full Gear. Okay? Stop dragging this thing out. I understand that, like I said, Statlander getting hurt kind of put a monkey wrench in their plans. But for Thunder Rosa as well. You know, you had two of your top stars just got hurt. But enough, man. You're dragging this thing out. Finish it up. So that was Dynamite. Rampage. Just want to run through Rampage real quick. Moxley versus Matt Menard. All right. Yeah. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. Keith Lee versus Serpentico. The match was a nothing. Post-match was awesome. The whole thing with Strickland threatened
Daddy ass.
Basically threatened to cut Daddy ass's fingers off. Like I said, this is another one where obviously, remember when Jericho did that thing with Max, and Max was trying to bullshit and lie, and Jericho said, "Listen, dude, we all watch Dynamite. We all know what really happened." Okay, they need to do the same thing with Keith Lee. Keith Lee comes out and he looks at us and says, "Listen, man, I watched this show. I know what you're doing. This isn't cool with me." And they need to pull the trigger on this thing with these two guys. Otherwise, this is Vince WWE level stupid.
Yep.
Tamello versus Madison Ray. It was a decent match.
Okay.
No, it was decent. It was all right. It wasn't the best ever, but it was pretty good. Wardlow versus Matt Taven was okay. I love that Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony are out there attacking Wardlow. But look, here's the thing. I love that Brian Cage is back on TV. I think Gates of Agony are a great team. You can put them in that. They need to be inserted into the tag team scene. If you're going to have them on AEW television, insert them into the tag team scene and have them be like that monster team, like the Legion of Doom.
Yep.
That are just so much bigger and stronger than everybody that they're just murdering people.
Oh yeah.
Do that with them because they fit that role. Brian Cage in a program against Wardlow, an extended program against Wardlow, not just a one-off match. I'm 100% behind that. But you need to start building to Joe versus Wardlow because that's what people are waiting for. Joe versus Wardlow. And then I want to, like I said, I want to see Wardlow. People are like, well, I want to see him done. And no, screw that. I want to see him in there against other monsters and winning. That's how you build Wardlow up. You have him go up against other monsters and succeed.
Right.
And that's what they need to do. They've got like the next 6 months. They got like the next 5 or 6 months of his program worked out. Joe, Miro, Keith Lee, Luchasaurus. You got these other big dudes.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes, Hobbs, 100%. Let's go. That's what needs to happen. Stop pussyfooting around and let's get something done. But I think that's pretty much Rampage.
Oh yeah, the Hardy Boys didn't want to put him over.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Raw. What did you? Okay, I'm gonna spend the last little bit here talking about Raw. What did you think about Raw? We got about 4 minutes left.
It was okay.
I thought Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross was really good. I just didn't like the ending.
Right.
I mean, there's no point in bringing back Crazy Nikki if you're going to have her lose her first match back. I would have had her wrestle somebody else and win. You could put Bianca up against Io or Candice or somebody and build her up that way because we know that Bayley's beating her at pay-per-view.
I could care less about this Dexter Lumis Miz thing.
I do not, dude. The explanation was stupid. I don't give a shit. It's get it off my television. I don't care. Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory. This was probably the best match Austin Theory has ever had in his entire life. And it shows you just how good Seth Rollins is. And I'll tell you what, Seth worked this friggin' program like he was a 100% babyface. So I'm hoping that's what they do with him. I'm hoping he goes full babyface. I'm not a big fan of the crazy, Joker-esque character that he's been playing. But yeah, this was an awesome match, man. Awesome match. And like I said, it's probably the best match that Austin Theory's ever had in his life.
I mean, you got that fight between Lesnar and Lashley. Yeah.
That should be, they should be building that up. They should have started building this up months ago. Because that's like how long have we been wanting Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar? And then they just throw it together at the last minute like this. No, you need to build this thing up. This is a match that's been years in the making. So that's that whole thing was a fail in my opinion. Damian Priest versus Carl Anderson is all right. I know that they're going to bring Raquel in to counteract Ripley hitting everybody in the balls. Matt Riddle versus Otis was stupid.
Yeah,
but it was funny.
I
mean, it was a little too. It was too much for me, man. I understand a lot of people like the silliness and everything. I get it. I love Otis. I love what do they call the team? The team, the Academy.
Yeah, Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy. I actually
Juice. I can
Chad Gable is so underappreciated. But
they could have removed the whole JBL Baron Corbin. R-Truth. They could have just cut it away, and I would not have cared. That's a bathroom break segment there. I'm sorry.
I do not care about JBL and Baron Corbin. That's go away. That they go on the screen. I turn the volume down. I don't care. Johnny Freaking just going to let it register here how FTR were number one contenders for 6 months and lost it without getting their title shot because the Harley Boys didn't want to put them over. Yep. Johnny Freaking Cage. I need a shot of Anderson versus Gato for the booking of the belt. Oh my God, Johnny, you're such a hater.
And then the main event, your women's tag team match.
It was a good match. I mean, all the people involved are fairly talented. I mean, Alexa Bliss is mid, in my personal opinion. I think she's a great person. I'll tell you what, I was more interested in the receipt that she tried to give Io, and then Io turned around and blasted the shit out of her.
Not a woman you want to mess. Yeah, not a woman you want to mess with.
I was saying, like, you know, because I guess she didn't like that kick that she gave to the head, which, like, the kick wasn't that bad. But she tried to take a swing at Io, and Io put her ass right down on the ground, man. And I was like, listen, I could appreciate, you know, trying to settle in the ring and wanting to give somebody a receipt, but you ain't gonna win that fight. Io's gonna break you in half because you weigh like 90 pounds.
Them Japanese women are tough. Io
is nobody to. Io's crazy. Io's no one to mess with, man.
No.
That's why I do with Jericho Appreciation now. Just skip it. I mean, that's, you know, the whole idea behind them is they're supposed to be annoying, but yeah, after a while, it kind of grates on your nerves. But yeah, that was Raw. All right, real quick, we got to go over the matches for
Crown Jewel,
and make our predictions. All right, first match: Asuka, Alexa Bliss versus Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I don't think they're going to take the belts off them after just winning them.
No.
Unless there's something going on, then maybe something happens between Alexa Bliss and Io, and that happens. I don't know.
Nope.
I say they retain, and I don't think anybody cares. Unified WWE Tag Titles: Usos versus Brawling Brutes. I think the Brawling Brutes win.
They're not taking the titles off of them.
I think they are. I think this is going to be the beginning of the fracturing, and I think they're going to try to blame Sammy for it.
Nope. Well, Sammy can't be there because it's in Saudi.
That's right. No, you're right. Okay. Yeah. Man. Yeah. I think no, you're right. I think they retain. I forgot that he's not going.
Yeah, he will not go ever.
Yeah, and I that's right. Yeah, he will not go. Last woman standing, Bianca Belair versus Bayley. I think Bayley wins.
I want to see Bayley win the title.
I do too. I think she carried that company on her back during COVID. And then she got hurt. I think she deserves it. And not to say that Bianca Belair has been a bad champion. I just think that Bayley can bring a lot to that belt. Braun Strowman versus Omos. I don't care. This could fall into an abyss and disappear, and I wouldn't bat an eyelash.
If I had to pick, I'm going Strowman for the win.
Yeah.
I don't want to because I really could care less about this match, but
yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross wins.
Please.
Cage match. Karrion Kross wins. I think they're going to build Karrion Kross up to challenge for one of the belts if they ever take the damn things off of Roman. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. I think it's going to be a fun match. Obviously, both guys are not in their prime anymore, but I still think it's going to be a fun match. They should definitely have built this thing up. This thing should be headlining up. This should be a headlining match. That's how big this thing should be.
I think Lashley retains.
I think so too. Well, they don't have any belt. Neither one has a belt.
I thought.
Nope.
Lashley has the U.S. title, or
no? Seth has the U.S. title.
You sure?
Yeah, pretty sure. Bobby, I'm looking at the thing right here. It doesn't say it's a title match. It just says Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
There's no title. Yeah, because remember they did that thing where he's like, he was
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He was trying to force him to, and he got hurt and all that crap.
Yeah, that'll be a double. Yeah, that'll be a double DQ or some shit.
I think the OC beat Judgment Day. I think they beat Judgment Day because Raquel Gonzalez is going to run down and she's going to stop Rhea Ripley from punching everybody in the balls. because apparently that's what Rhea Ripley does now. She just hits all the dudes in the balls because they're not smart enough to realize that they shouldn't turn their back on her.
I think Dominic gets the win.
I don't think so. I think the OC win. So we contention on that. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Seriously, come on. Are you kidding me? Roman Reigns wins.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is. My God, come on. This match is stupid. This match doesn't make any damn sense at all. Johnny, when is it my turn to get punched in the balls by her? Oh my God. All right. So on that, appreciate everybody coming here. Johnny Cage, Will Railsport. Yeah, I have to check out the was it he talked about the where is that? Matt Cardona interview. Yeah, I gotta check that out. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Sir.
Appreciate that.
Sir.
What's up? Yes.
Are we doing this?
Full Gear?
Full Gear. Are we
Yes.
doing this?
Yeah, I've already. Oh, yes. By the way, guys, we are going to be doing live reactions to Full Gear on what is it? The
19th.
19th of November. We are going to be doing a live reaction to Full Gear. I
Two-
already approached.
2 weeks from this Saturday.
Yeah, 2 weeks from this Saturday, I put out feelers for some people to come on as special guests. Once I get a confirmation or a yay or nay from those guys, I will let you guys know. Also, when we do that, we also open up the stream to you guys. So if you got a camera, if you got a microphone, we're gonna come on and hang out with us while we're watching Full Gear.
Even if you don't have a camera, because Johnny just throws a picture up of Larry.
He does have a camera though.
He does, but he also just
It's better with a camera.
Yeah, it is. But he had a picture of Larry tonight. So if you still, if you're like, oh, you know what, I'm a little bit shy with the camera, and you want to talk. Hey, we're not gonna say, hey, you have to have a camera.
I'm trying to go. All right.
Hey,
thanks, Will. Thanks, Hicks Villain,
Malcito,
Johnny Cage, Malcito, everybody that was lurking in the chat. Appreciate you guys. We will see you guys next.
Johnny, hope you took care of the goats.
Oh my God.
Mischievous and deceitful, chicanerous and deplorable.
Have a good night, everybody.